Coronavirus may be even more widespread in the U.S. than we thought. That's according to a new study that says the number of people infected with the virus could be up to 4 times higher than reported. In California, where the state reports the virus has claimed nearly 30,000 lives so far, hospitals are being pushed to the brink. Nick Watt is in Los Angeles with more.
In Los Angeles County, the COVID-19 burden on hospitals is so great that EMTs are under orders. If certain cardiac arrest victims, after attempts to resuscitate, show no signs of survival, they should be determined dead on scene and not transported.
6433, start for Harvard and Maine.
Ambulances waiting hours to drop patients who are transported.
Next couple of weeks, we're going to get more. I think we're going to be in some trouble.
Over in Daytona Beach, Florida,
I want to be able to see my kids and my grandchildren.
seniors camped in their cars overnight to be the first in line for the vaccine this morning. Florida has reported actually administering just a fraction of the doses delivered.
It's much slower than we expected or hoped. We're going to have a rough time in the next couple of months, and we face the possibility that we will have to do a shutdown again.
A record-setting 128,000 Americans are already in the hospital, and the number of tests coming back positive proves we are nowhere near getting this virus under control.
This looks very much like the way it started back in March and April in New York City, and it's almost as if we haven't learned anything. And this is a humanitarian catastrophe now unfolding in Los Angeles, and I worry it won't stop in Los Angeles.
And, you know, what's freaking a lot of people out is this idea of having to limit care. One nurse told us he didn't train to limit care, he trained to help people. And EMTs here in LA are now also being told to limit who they give oxygen to because oxygen is in such short supply.
First case of the highly contagious UK variant now has been identified in Georgia. We're just finding this out moments ago. So they've just confirmed a case, a young man, I believe 18 years old, no travel history whatsoever, which now makes the obvious question of just how widespread this variant is. Of course, it is a much more highly transmissible, contagious version than the original. Joining me now, Dr. William Schaffner, professor at Vanderbilt, and also on the CDC Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices. So, Dr. Schaffner, you know, now we know this is in Georgia, so now we know New York, we know California, we know Colorado, we know Georgia. In the UK, they sequence testing, right? So they can say, well, this person has this variant, this doesn't. We basically don't. So the fact that we even know about these individual cases in 4 corners of the country, does that mean it's safe to say this is indeed everywhere in the U.S.?
I was about to use that word, Aaron. Yes, I think we can decide that it's everywhere. We can make that assumption, and it may well be contributing to this surge in cases we're seeing all over the country, which of course was augmented by people getting together in the holidays, offering this virus even more opportunities to spread, which it knows how to do.
So let me ask you about this, because I know that, you know, the practices that we all know work with any version of this, but when it's more highly contagious, what does that mean? Or do we even know in terms of its ability to, you know, get through certain types of masks or live on surfaces or all these questions, right? Or do we not even know the answers to that?
The answer is that we produce more virus, so we shed it out more. And that means if you're close in, you're more likely to catch it. So it hasn't got anything to do very much with the surfaces, we don't think. It's just that the individuals who are infected put out more virus, which means more people can catch it more easily.
All right. Well, that's really important, just for people to understand these basics. And as you point out, it could be contributing to some of this. I mean, a 30% surge in hospitalizations in LA in 1 week. It's safe to ask the question as to whether it's related. We don't know at all, but I know they're fair questions. It's a race against time, doctor. You've got something like this happening, more highly contagious disease. You know, someone had said, you know, you could lose 200,000 more lives just because of something that spreads more quickly, but is not more virulent.